Finally, an NHL alternative on PC. Almost. Tape to Tape is a roguelite hockey game that just released on Steam. In early access. Well, how is it? And does it finally scratch that itch for a decent hockey game on PC? The short answer is, maybe. It depends on what you're looking for. Tape to Tape is good old 5-on-5 hockey, but the rules are more or less thrown out the window. There's no offsides, there are no penalties, there is no icing, there is no high sticking. You get the point. The game controls pretty well, and the controls are pretty standard. There's a button to check, pass, a saucer pass if the pass button is held down, shoot, use a power-up, and skate backwards. In the campaign mode, the player will trudge through 3 worlds that all contain a midway boss, some events, as well as a final boss. If the player wins an event match, they can pick a new power-up or artifact out of a selection of 3. They will also win some pucks which can be used to buy new power-ups, superstars, or beef up their skater stats. The player will have to visit the Blade Master. Speaking of that, the game is considered a roguelite. You will do a run and probably get crushed because the AI all have insane abilities. When you do, you get kickbacks at the beginning. In addition to getting pucks, the player will be able to buy a new helpful ability or player from the Blade Master after every run. If the player wishes, they can increase their captain stats instead. Powers will be something that helps out the user, but it'll be on a timer. My favorite one is probably the Tomahawk one. The player will just take their stick and throw it across the ice. This will leave them without their stick until they pick it up, but it can be used to knock over a player that is out of reach. Some other good ones include a dash that will make the player go wicked fast, a disco one that will cause nearby players to dance, a kazoo that will make a nearby player lose the puck, and a grappling hook that can come out of the player to grab onto another player or the boards. There are more than I mentioned here, but these are some of the notable ones. Artifacts will usually benefit the entire team. These are super valuable, and some good examples are the ability to call off a goal, double the countdown when you're winning, and gaining some speed after a successful body check. Talents are additional things that help out your skaters that are applied per skater. Some include disarming your opponent after a poke check, having multiple sticks, deflecting the puck easier, being able to shoot through opponents, stuff like that. Unlike power-ups, these are not on a timer. Artifacts, power-ups, and talents will be permanent for the run. Outside of the campaign is the Play Now option. There are a couple of options that the player can mess around with here. These range from changing the 5v5 to 4v4 to 3v3 even, changing the number of periods, changing how long the periods are, the AI difficulty, and turning off power-ups. Several teams can be unlocked by beating in the campaign, and they will come with their own power-ups and stats. If you just want to chill out with some friends, this can be a nice chaotic mess. Unfortunately, there is no online multiplayer. I was able to play online with some friends using Steam Remote Play. It works well enough, I guess, but my friends pointed out some delays, but it was nothing unplayable. I hope that the devs can get around to implementing online multiplayer because remote play can be finicky at times. I don't really know where to slot this in, but the music is badass. It's a nice vibe the entire way through. The art style is really cool as well. It's a nice blend between 2D and 3D, and I'm totally here for it. It looks distinct, and I've had enough of all these realistic-looking games anyway. It's a nice change of pace, and it makes it stand out. It also works pretty well in the Steam Deck for those wondering. What are some things that I would personally change? The first one is simple. Adding rules should be an option. Icing, offsides, penalties, and the like. I get that this game is supposed to be a bit of a goofy arcade take on the genre, but hear me out here. There are going to be some that look at this as an NHL alternative on PC. I know this will burn some NHL fans looking for a PC alternative. They shouldn't be turned on by default, but it should be an option. This way, the game can appeal to those that want a more wacky hockey game, and it may even be able to win over some EA Sports fans that have moved on to PC. The campaign mode is fun enough, but it simply gets too repetitive. I think they should add more opponent teams with the option of switching the order up. I like the teams they came up with. The farting princesses are hilarious, the refs rigging the game is just simply awesome, and the disco dancers aren't funny. But you will play against the same opponents every time, in the same order. It is true that runs will feel a little bit different because you have different power-ups, but they still blend a bit. On top of that, a lot of events are pretty predictable too. The challenge matches all feel the same as well. It's against very similar teams, and it's simply the first goal wins every single time. That is it. The fact that campaign is the only mode to play outside of the Play Now option, and the fact that it can get repetitive, I can see people dropping Tape to Tape rather quickly. I hate to say it, but after roughly 10 hours or so with the game, it feels like I've seen almost everything that it has to offer. I still have some players and things to unlock though, so I'm not quite done yet. So that's Tape to Tape. It's still in early access, so I won't award it a grade or anything, but I think that it's such a solid start. If the devs add online multiplayer, more opponent teams to make the campaign more interesting, an extra mode or two, as well as a rule slider to give it a more serious feel, this will become a full-on recommendation from me. For now though, it's just a cute little game that it's doing its job. I haven't fired up my Series X to play NHL since this came out. The devs are listening and are all over the Steam community hub. They are throwing down patches every so often to do things like fine-tuning the goalie, allowing us to skip replays, and overall they are working on the difficulty of the game. This seems to be a group that really cares about their product, and I can't wait to see the final release. If you're looking for more of an arcade-style hockey game on PC, you really can't do much better than Tape to Tape, and it's easily worth the $20. If you're more into the EA series games, you may want to wait to see if they add rules. That's kind of my bottom line here.